You know the story. When a narcissist discards you, they're the one who walks away totally fine. I mean, you're left completely broken, and they just seem to move on without a single scratch. But here's the thing. Is that really the whole story?
They walk away and they look like they're thriving. But what is really going on behind closed doors? Well, let me tell you, the reality is way more complex, and honestly, it's a lot more devastating for them than you could ever imagine.
Okay, so first, we have to pull back the curtain on their big performance. We're going to call this the unscathed illusion.
Exactly. To the outside eye, they appear untouchable, as if they are thriving after walking away from you. You've seen it. The smiling, the boasting, they just glide through social events with this unbelievable arrogance, right? And they're not just convincing everyone else they're stronger without you. Sometimes they're even trying to convince themselves.
So what this really boils down to are two completely different realities. On one hand, you have the public performance, confident, charming, totally in control. But what about their private reality? Well, that is where the whole illusion just completely shatters.
So, what happens when the audience finally goes home? What's actually left? It's time for us to take a look behind the mask.
You see, this mask isn't just a simple disguise. It's everything to them. It's this whole persona, right? Carefully built up to look confident and in control. But its real job is to manipulate people, and more importantly, to hide how fragile they truly are on the inside. And here's the crucial part. That mask absolutely needs an audience to survive.
Because in private,
When that audience is gone?
well, that's when the facade begins to crack. Think about it. The mask they wore with you, the one that made it seem like they didn't need your love, that was all just a show. And now that you, their main audience, are gone, they just can't keep it up. They're left all alone with the one raw, unfiltered truth. They're the one who drove you away.
And this is what leads them straight into their biggest fear. In that deafening quiet, they come face to face with silence, the loudest enemy.
So why on earth is silence their loudest enemy? I mean, for most of us, right? A little quiet can bring some peace, maybe some clarity. But for a narcissist? Oh, it's a completely different ballgame. They need chaos. They thrive on noise and constant attention.
You can really see how this whole thing just unravels for them. First, the silence strips away every single distraction. Then, bam, it forces them into a self-confrontation they have literally spent their entire lives running from. Suddenly, all that quiet just magnifies the massive emptiness inside them. And finally, it becomes a mirror, showing them exactly what they lost. You.
And this really gets to the heart of the whole matter. Real love cannot be replaced with supply, because genuine connection carries a depth that manipulation can never replicate. Look, they can go out and find new sources of attention, new supply, but it's a hollow victory. It's kind of like trying to drink salt water when you're dying of thirst. It looks like water, but it'll never ever quench what you're really craving.
And as that horrible realization starts to sink in, they enter the next stage of their private breakdown, the power fades. Just imagine it. Their entire foundation just starts to crumble. The control they held over you, gone. The constant validation you gave them, poof, vanished. All of a sudden, that feeling of being superior feels completely hollow and pointless. Without you, their ego has absolutely nothing to hold on to. It's just drifting.
And this quote just nails it. Power, for a narcissist, is relational. It exists only in the eyes of others. Think about that. Their whole sense of authority, their feeling of being invincible, all of it depended on how you reacted to them. Without you as their mirror, that powerful image they see of themselves just starts to fade away.
So all of this, it all builds and builds to one final, inescapable stage. We're talking about a permanent haunting.
What happens is they get trapped in this vicious mental loop, this secret torment they can't ever talk about. It starts with them just replaying the loss over and over. Then it moves into obsessively analyzing every tiny detail. After that, regret starts to fester. And it all leads to the one thing they dread, finally confronting their own profound emptiness.
So all that anger you might see from them on the outside, the irritation, the rage, that is just another mask. It's a cover for their private grief. See, in their world, being vulnerable is the absolute biggest weakness you can show. So they have to project all this fury just to hide how desperate and empty they really feel.
And really, underneath all of it is just pure terror. This fear of a permanent, endless emptiness begins to take hold, because deep, deep down, they know it. They know that what they lost with you is truly irreplaceable, and no amount of new supply, no new person can ever fill that void. And that realization, that's their silent, constant torment.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty haunting question to think about. I mean, really, if their entire identity is just one big performance, who are they when the curtain finally falls for good?